What's up, everybody? The Crap Gamer here, the most compelling game-related YouTuber, and you damn well know it. Also, the king of all gaming-related media, and you knew that as well. Back with another video, and this video is all about resolution and why it doesn't matter. And why do I keep doing videos about resolution if it doesn't matter? Because I need to get the word out that Xbox One actually doesn't have a resolution problem at all. And to help me make this point, I have the one and only Mooch with me. Say what's up, everybody, Mooch.
What's going on, everybody? Just hanging out with Crap, trying to report the news no matter what the time is. We do it all 24 hours. 24/7.
Mooch is, he likes baseball, hot dogs, Xbox, and Chevrolet. Something like that anyway.
It's American as it gets.
Yes, all American things that were invented here anyway. But okay, so anyway, you guys will be able to check out the description of this, of what I'm talking about. This article came out. Over 75% of the Xbox One games that have released are actually 1080p, and actually could be a little bit higher than that. But the interesting thing, it wasn't the 1080p games and things like that. I thought the interesting thing was, because a lot of people like to dog the Xbox One, call it the 720p box and things like that. But you look at the games that are 720p on this list, and there's only 9 of them. And a good number of them were launch titles with, as far as that goes. And they, for some reason, they have Titanfall in here, even though that was above 720p. It was actually 792p or something like that.
792p to start, and then they've enhanced it to 900p. So.
Yeah. So they have it at, so that's a little bit wrong. But they have Battlefield 4, which is a launch game. Battlefield Hardline, which that kind of mystifies me as to why that was 720p. Call of Duty Ghosts was a launch game. Dead Rising 3 was a launch game. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, that came out early on. Pro Evolution Soccer was a launch game, or it came out early on in that year, 2014. And then Watch Dogs, again, wasn't 720p. It was like 790 or something like that. So overall, you can count on 2 hands the number of 720p games, and maybe even a little bit less than that. They have 9, but 2 of them don't even belong in there. That are a little bit above that. And it also has its own little kind of custom as well, this thing. And again, you'll have to check the description. There's custom, which is basically means that it's dynamic or whatever. It's like Witcher, Pro Evolution Soccer 2016, Far Cry 4, Dying Light, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So I think that's a little bit interesting. What do you think about this, as far as maybe, does that blow your mind that there's only like 7 720p games, Mooch?
Well, yeah, not just that. I mean, you hear all the ridiculous stuff coming from the media. You hear all these things that have been bashed about through YouTube, etc. To see that the list is actually that small, and they were pretty much launch titles, is one thing. The other thing I've realized is that the resolution issue is going to go away. We both know that, especially with the SDKs that are coming out in the next 3 months, with the DX12 included on Windows 10. But besides that, the last few games that have come out that are even 900p, that are even of that caliber, that are being dynamically upscaled. Besides that, you're getting better shaders, you're getting better frame rate. That's typically what you want, right? Anybody who's a gamer who's listening to your channel right now knows that if you want a game, and you give a shit about a game in your perfect genre, you want your frames per second to be top notch, and you also want to have the dynamic upscaling, which, really, think about it, for cutscenes and parts that you want to sit back, put the controller down for a second, and enjoy the beauty, you're going to get that 1080p. But then to be able to get back into the game, the 900p basically to the human eye is exactly the same as 1080p.
Yeah.
But they're able to get you a higher frame rate, which just makes it that much better. So as a gamer, that's what you're looking for. But to answer your question, going back to that, I am actually... I'm pleasantly surprised that it's only that number, and I'm pleasantly surprised to see how far back it goes. Most of those games were all launch titles. It's really a dying topic that only the media is keeping relevant at this point.
Yeah, and then as far as, like, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on PS4 and Xbox One. They look exactly the same to me, but apparently it's 900p on the Xbox One and 1080 on PS4. They look exactly the same. But again, there was a lot of lag and frame rate issues on the PS4 version for me, where there was none of that on the Xbox One version. So I think I'll take that over the extra pixels. And then again, when you have stuff like Metal Gear Solid, 1080p on the PS4, 900p on Xbox One, but It runs better on the Xbox One, and you look at a lot of the detail is a lot better and clearer on the Xbox One because they're not being forced with that 1080p type agenda. And and it's, again, I don't like talking about resolution all the time, and the reason I do is because there's misinformation. There's, it's so underpowered, it's so this, it's so that, right? I mean, we hear it all the time, and to understand now that it's not underpowered. It's, most of its games are 1080p. And I think that's, like you said, it's a dying kind of trend where people are going to say, 720p. There's only 7. There's hardly any, and most of them were within the first 6 months of the console.
If you go into Consumer Reports, tell me any other industry where somebody says to you, "Excuse me, Joe, I was just wondering which one of these two things performs better." That one. Oh, but that one looks better. Kinda. But that one performs better. I'll take the one that kind of looks better. That never happens in any industry. Lawn mowers, hamburgers, I don't give a shit what you're talking about. Builders, contractors, anything. It's all about performance. So the Xbox One and Microsoft is telling you, the consumer, listen, we're going to give you the 900p, 1080p when we can, or we'll give you the dynamic upscale, but we're going to give you 60 frames when we can, or a solid lock 30, or an in-between that's higher. And PS4 is being stubborn. They have no games. They've got no features. So their only ploy to their customers is 1080p. So to do that, they have to put the 1080p stamp on there, but you're going to suffer. Everyone's going to see more lag, more frame rate drops, less performance, lesser shaders. These are the problems that you have with Sony. Sony is stuck in a corner that they put themselves in. Nobody put them in there. They could have been going head-to-head at 900p. No, they have to be 1080p. So they're 1080p all the time, but then you're going to have all these issues. Microsoft chooses to do this for the benefit of the gamer, for the user.
Exactly.
And that is what you look for when you go to Consumer Reports. You look for the best product you can get, the best quality, that's the output, and in this case it's the Xbox One.
Exactly. And just so you guys know, again, check the description of this video. I'm going to link it. You guys can check it out and discuss it in the comment section. Also, make sure you guys check out Mooch's channel. He's on fire right now. The Mooch78 on YouTube. I'm gonna link that as well. And follow him on Twitter as well. Mooch, what, 78? Is it there as well?
It's the Mooch78, and I appreciate all the motivation and pull. I feel like I'm on a book signing tour. I'm doing channel to channel, but I appreciate everybody's support and all the subs. And sometime mid this week, we'll have another Mooch's commentary on grown-up gaming. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
So again, there's only a handful of 720p games on the Xbox. It's not underpowered. The PS4 is not doing much better than it as far as resolution goes overall. Get your head out of your asses, people. That's a marketing ploy. Don't fall for it. You know what I mean? It's stupid. Rack 'em up. Thanks for watching, guys. Crap Gamer out.